Okay, starting. Hi everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to Veronika Awesome Ukrainian Perspective channel. I have a very special guest today for you. I'm excited to offer a professional person that has been working in marriage industry business. And today we will talk about communication. And before that, I would like let Michael introduce himself.
Hi, Veronica. Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to say that I'm super excited to be on your channel. Veronica, thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Michael Mordinson, and I'm a manager of the Mordinson Marriage Agency in Kharkiv, Ukraine. And I am super thrilled to be here. And I'm very much looking forward to talking with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Me too. Me too. It is so wonderful to get perspective from more people, from people who see failures and successes, somebody who deals with it every single day. And we often have discussions on my channel. We're trying to dive deep and understand, why is it somebody comes to, let's say, come to Ukraine and they are successful, they meet a good person and things seem to be great, and others have been dating since 1999 and there is no good result and they're going on the shows. So I have a question to you about communication. It's not like we studied communication in school. What is the right way, or how do you communicate when you just start talking to the Ukrainian lady? Do you, tell her right away everything you want and desire? Do you just have small talk? In your experience, what have you noticed? What brings more responses from the ladies? What style?
Okay, it's a great question, first of all, because I think many guys get it wrong and they think that their first contact with a lady ever should be a detailed explanation of every single thing they've ever done, seen, or thought in their lives. It's a big, big misrepresentation of the truth. Actually, the first time you contact a lady, and in our agency, we basically offer guys to do it free of charge. We don't charge anything for that. So a guy can introduce himself to the ladies without having to pay anything. It's this letter that you send. It should be a glimpse, a mere glimpse into who you are, into what kind of interests you have, into your personality, your lifestyle, your family, things you enjoy doing and stuff like that. So if you are about to write an introduction letter, don't make it look like as I said, a detailed explanation of every year of your life. The second thing, I would say that it's not very common, but it sometimes happens. Guys, keep it in mind. You are not applying for a job when you are writing an introduction letter. You don't need to list every single degree and course you've ever taken in your life and every job title you've ever held in your life. Mm-hmm. Just think to your, stop for a moment and think, what am I doing right now? Just ask yourself, what am I doing right now? And the answer is very simple. You possibly are writing the first letter to somebody who will be your future wife. She doesn't care if you worked in IBM from 1996 to 1999 or from 1999 to 2001. It doesn't matter. What she cares about, she wants to understand who you are, what kind of person you are, if she can rely on you, if you are the person, if you honor your word. That's what's important. And secondly, if we are talking about the introduction, the first step, guys often don't realize how what a huge role pictures play in the introduction process. Veronika, I think you've made some really great videos about this topic. What is your insight concerning the pictures that guys should send?
Yes, that is such a good point, because sometimes very decent looking men send very, very weak pictures, and it just gives such a wrong message. I think subconsciously it gives the message to the ladies that I am unorganized, I am lazy, I do not I cannot even respect myself, and I don't respect the lady. If you respect the woman, you will never send her a picture. In US we have this wife beaters. Micah, на нашем языке.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes men, especially on these fishy dating websites, they are amazed of the response the ladies give to them, and they're wearing the wife beaters short. And also, the picture is very blurry. The point is, the picture is the first filter. It's not about your beauty or handsomeness. It's not about it's not even about the judgment of, he's how he looks, or he's too young, he's too old. It's very personal. You know how sometimes you see the picture and you feel the personality behind it. It's a first filter. You can see the picture, even if this person made of gold, this is just completely, totally not your type.
Absolutely.
To explain, yes, to explain this better, men would never talk to a lady without a picture. Sure. And they would never talk to the lady that have a picture that is very undefined. So it just shows you have an opportunity to make an impression, and the first impression is very powerful. There is no second chance to make it.
Also, I would say that if you are able, I mean, it's not always possible, but if you are a man and you are, if you are writing an introduction letter and you are picking the pictures to send, try to make your pictures tell the story. We are visual creatures. As you can understand, we as human beings, we learn how to see things a lot earlier than when we learn how to read things, because that's how we operate. When we are born, we cannot read, and when we are 2 years old or 1 year old, we cannot read, but we can very well see. And therefore, if your pictures tell the story of your introduction letter instead of the introduction letter, that's perfect. Because what I mean, for example, if you are into hiking, you should have tons of pictures of you hiking. If you like fishing, if you like traveling, you should have pictures when you were in places. If you can make a little story of your life within maybe 5, 7, 10 pictures. And guys often ask me, is there, how many pictures should I send? I always say, send as many as you can. First of all, we don't limit the number of pictures, of course, the guy can send. But the more you send, the more good quality pictures you send, as Veronika just said, it just shows the lady that you took time. It's the same as when you are going on a date with a girl and she comes all dressed up, high heels, beautiful manicure, nice dress, and you just show up, okay? You're wearing trainers and sneakers, and well, there are actually some very cool sneakers that you can wear even to a fancy restaurant sometimes. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a disproportionate amount of effort, and girls don't like that, and I think nobody likes that, because when you've worked hard to do something, to make a good impression, and girls in our agency, in order to become a member of the agency, they actually have to come to our studio to make pictures, because we don't want to accept the pictures that we don't know when they were taken, and who knows how they were, altered and stuff like that. And we also take the videos of the ladies in our studio. So we don't like that. And that's why we insist on a lady coming to our studio to make the pictures. So a girl actually made an effort to look so that you can see her pictures and see her video. So why don't you do the same? And everybody is busy, of course. But if you think about it, taking a couple of hours and making some pictures, I would recommend, if you don't have any recent pictures, ask a friend or a relative, just go around your town and maybe find some cool places. Just keep in mind, what is absolutely usual and mundane to you, the way your country looks, wherever you live, maybe you live in America or Australia, the way it looks to you is absolutely usual. You don't care about it. But it looks completely different in Ukraine. And if you take some really cool, nice quality pictures of yourself being surrounded by where you live, it's very interesting for the girls, because they can see how you live and where you, I'm not talking about the house. I'm not talking about showing off your properties. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, some sites, you go, You say, hey, this is the park near me. This is a supermarket. Why not to do it? You can even make a video about it. We also don't limit that. It's perfect.
Yes, that's so excellent. I couldn't say it any better. I like your passion toward that. It's so true, and that leads me to the point of mentioning that don't let the pictures misrepresent you, because you may be a good-looking guy. Once again, in America, I have to say, people are overall are very relaxed. They not very different than in post-USSR, where I'm also from Kiev, so I grew up with everybody trying to always look good, and you can be broke, you can have very bad life, but you look good. And our ladies, they are used to men looking together. So when she sees a picture of so-called future husband or successful man who can take care of the family, who maybe have business, but he shows up with a very ungroomed and he shows up too casual, that is misrepresenting his message. Because once again, some people overuse it the other ways. They use all kinds of photoshops, and either way, do not misrepresent yourself. Do not misrepresent yourself to the point where you look nothing in your picture, like you are a handsome guy, a normal looking guy in your life. But also do not misrepresent yourself by sending your pictures from 90s, because once in a while I get pictures from the man. I'm like, oh, this is a good looking man, and then I see his suit is really from 90s. So I understand that is his picture from 20-30 years ago, but he looked good back then. So that is just a point of, do the most of what you got. You may think, some of even men sometimes, feel bad that, oh, I no longer look like I'm 30, but a lot of women, they don't look for photo model or for the Instagram model man. They look for a provider, but they also don't want to be embarrassed. They want to have a man who is nicely put together.
Absolutely, and it serves no purpose to lie in any way, including the misrepresentation by the pictures, because at least in our agency, basically the way it goes is that after a couple of months of communication, not just letters, Skype calls as well, a guy comes over here to Ukraine, and if you send her the pictures that were taken 20 years ago, you may actually look okay now, but she will still be very upset. And maybe it will mean that there will be no development, because you lied to her in such a little thing where you didn't have to lie. It means you will lie again. This is the way people think. If you, it takes a long time to build the trust, and it takes very little time to break the trust. So why to break the trust that you're just beginning to build? Of course you should send the realistic pictures, but in our experience we have seen that guys who went ahead and did something that I understand as a guy is not a very usual thing. They would hire a photographer, drop a couple of $100. You don't need the Annie Leibovitz. Annie Leibovitz is a famous photographer who took pictures of the Queen, and you don't need any Leibovitz. You just need a photographer with a lens camera, because many people don't realize, but when you take a selfie on a close proximity to your phone, the face doesn't look the way it actually looks. It's the image is distracted. So they went ahead and hired a photographer. As I said, it may cost maybe $300 or something in North America, and it is an investment, and it's not a little amount of money. But if you think about it, it is a good investment. It is a good investment because you will have some full-length pictures. You can, and the photographer, unlike your relative or a friend, will not be saying, "Hey man, come on, I need to go to work. How long are you going to do it?" They will have patience because you are paying for their time. So this may be, it's not that everybody has to do it, but I'm just saying that guys who did it, we saw some very good results.
Yes, excellent. I totally agree with that. Just as men, women are visual too. we may not be as hung up on the use of the man or his super attractiveness, especially if we are serious, you know, when women are serious about you know, settling down. But we want to see, and the more your image represents who you are and, you know, your best features, there is nothing wrong with, you know, getting a suit that's nicely tailored. That's one of the problems in the United States. Sometimes people wear clothing that's very loose. You know, it's not very well tailored. It's not very well fitting your body. So very simple. You don't, you know, you don't have to, I totally agree. You don't have to invest in a super fancy photographer or make like unrealistic pictures of yourself. But yes, giving her a good idea that you also know how to carry yourself and how to, you know, you can show up and make you proud as well to be on your arm. Yes.
Yeah, about the suit, I'm not a very big fan of pictures in the suit because unless you wear a suit every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can always, just like you can tell by looking at the video of a person, you know, or when you're watching a movie and the actor is smoking, you can actually tell whether this person actually smokes in real life or not, because he's just doing it in a weird way. People who actually smoke do it in a very seamless way. It's like it comes natural, you know. Just like this, you know, wearing a suit. If I see somebody in a picture in a suit, you can almost tell whether this person is used to wearing it or not. Because when you are used to wearing suits, there is something. It's just the way you. It's just such a usual thing. You know, I very rarely wear a suit, and when I do, I don't feel like myself. I feel like I feel like everybody's looking at me. You know. So that's why, for example, I personally don't like taking pictures in suits, but if you enjoy,
that's who you are,
if that's who you are, if this is all together, you know, a guy with a vest, you know, beautiful suit, perfect, and the girls will appreciate it. They will see the style, but don't try to seem somebody you are not. That's it.
Yes, this is a wonderful addition to what we just were discussing. I totally agree. I totally agree. If that's not your thing, do not just try to impress her. And if your thing, on the other hand, if your thing is something very casual, I honestly would recommend to upgrade the casual a little bit. So, for example, if you like plaid shirts, you know, get plaid that is a little bit more classic, a little bit, you know, one tone. Ask your sister, you know, somebody, well, ask me if you're really struggling. I can help you with that. You know, look at your type. But this is the problem, that a lot of men that will hear the advice that, you know, don't be somebody you're not, they will say, well, I'm just really this flannel short guy, you know. It's very popular. And so they would wear a flannel shirt, and it just would be, you don't want to look just completely without showing anything of your individuality. So if you are the casual guy, just upgrade a little bit your casual style, just get a little bit more crisp. And you know, and if you're really struggling, listen, I understand we are not good at everything. If you're really struggling, ask a female that you trust to get yourself a little bit together, and you'll be all right.
Absolutely, guys, and I think you have Veronika's channel, which is an endless source of good advice in terms of also the pictures. No, I'm being serious. You are very lucky to have her. I have just met Veronika last week, so, and I feel blessed to meet her. But you guys who follow her, you are the lucky ones.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you know, we talk about different aspects because, thank you so much. And I feel that all the big buildings are made from tiny little bricks. And when these first bricks are faulty, when they are, you know, dented, when they are weak, the building may not be built. You know, it either will break down or it won't be built. Another thing is, when you have something, when you have some strong features about you, don't be shy to show them. You know, if you have, I wouldn't say show off and have muscle pictures, but if you have some strong pictures about, you know, some particular things about you that, you know, you really feel comfortable with, they stand out about you. You don't have to, you know, show them off, but you don't have to hide them. Just, you know, just show, you know, what you like. Just like Michael was sharing that, you know, if you are a hiking guy and, you know, you have some pictures from a photographer, but also have some hiking pictures when there is no professional hand involved, and you are enjoying the beautiful day, you know, just given the idea of your personality, because just like you fall in love with Ukrainian women because of their unique personalities, their combination of different traits that you can hardly find sometimes in other ladies maybe who live next to you. Just so she wants to have something, she wants to find things that are different and unique about you. And just like Michael also mentioned, that what is regular to you is completely exotic for her.
Absolutely.
Like your big, you know, like your big truck, you know, that you take and you go on the mountain. For you, it's, oh, you know, just another day. But for her, it's like, oh, this is so cool. I love mountains. So,
absolutely. And guys, I also want you to take this talk about the pictures that Veronika and I are having as a sign of Ukrainian people or Ukrainian culture being shallow and just surface, because you should always keep it in mind. We have a saying, встречают по одежке, провожают по уму. So it means in English, I would say, I would translate it as we greet somebody based on the way you look, but we bid farewell based on what's inside your head. So this is the beauty of our culture. You have to look presentable, but it can't be the only thing about you. Ukrainian culture can be anything but shallow, believe me. And the fact that you need to look presentable, it doesn't mean that this is the only thing that Ukrainian women are after. Not at all. Not at all. This is an entrance key. But this is the key, as Veronika just said. The big building is based on those little bricks. And if they're not there, there will be no building. And if there is no entrance key, there will be nothing after that first door. So that's, you get into this door by writing an adequate, normal introduction letter that shows a girl that basically is the most important thing that, you know, she's looking for. She's looking for somebody she can rely on. So that's why she's looking for somebody balanced, somebody who has, you know, his act together, who, you know, that's why guys who say, you know, I'm studying art in college, become my wife, Ukrainian girl will think about it and probably say no, because it's our culture is based on this idea that the family is a place where everybody can rely on each other. And it's not just words. It's not just words. Ukrainian grandmothers and grandfathers devote enormous amount of time to upbringing of their grandchildren so that their children can work and support the entire family. So when I say we rely on each other, in the Ukrainian culture, that's you are supposed to be this person who your family can rely on. It's not just words. So this entrance key is nice pictures. We're coming back to this topic. So at least you need to be in clean clothes. I would strongly recommend against taking pictures without a shirt on. Even if you are ripped, even if you are like a Mr. Olympic, I would probably still say that for the first introduction letter, she's looking for a husband. She's not looking for, you know, there is. What do you think about it, Veronika?
I could not agree more with you. I could not agree more. First of all, your cultural insight was excellent. This is an excellent just view that this is just part of the culture, but the outer does not represent the entire culture. This is just an entrance. And yes, it's extremely inappropriate to send any pictures of you unless you have one picture when you are on the beach You have 10 pictures when you are all dressed, and you have one picture when you are on the beach, you're playing, volleyball, or you're swimming, and it's just like a brief picture. But just be very careful with that. I know there is a fashion right now, thanks to Instagram, where everybody is showing off their quote unquote best features, but this is extremely unprofessional, unclassy, and disrespectful almost, because it's just, there is a time and place for everything. If things will work out, you will have time to show your best features up and close, but don't overuse that, because it shows lack of class.
And also it may make the lady feel not very special, because she just thinks to herself, that's the first letter. Maybe he sent it to like a bunch of girls. And so he's sending this picture to everybody, When you are sharing, as Veronika just said, there is time and place for everything. When you're sending a picture like that, or when she's sending a picture where she may be wearing something very beautiful, she's sending it to you. She's not sending it to 10 more dudes. She's sending it to you. And so when you are sharing something like that, it's probably better to make it more special.
Yes, it's definitely premature.
Yeah.
It's definitely premature, and it shows that, you entering the building from the wrong end, you start from, it's not that kind of party. You will get there hopefully, right?
But if you are a surfer, but if, I just thought about this, I have this image in my head right now, like how they take the pictures with the GoPro cameras, they put it on the side of the surfboard. If you are a surfer and you are standing on your board and this camera is just shooting you from of course you are not wearing a t-shirt, and you are wearing shorts. It's an amazing picture, because yes, you are topless in this picture, but it just shows who you are. It shows such a huge part of your life. But when I say that you shouldn't send a topless picture, I meant taking off your t-shirt in front of the bathroom wall and taking a picture. That's no.
That's, oh my goodness. Yes. So absolutely, if that's it can be only in a context, and preferably maybe only one. If this is just so who you are, you're so much into it, you have to share only one, and only in a context, not near not in the bathroom. So I have a question to you. As we're going to be wrapping up this part about introduction stages and how to make a good impression, that's basically, first when you're communicating, what do you think, what are unusual requests that you get? We just, before we started the show, we had a little chat and you shared about the calls that you had recently. That's just such a good example.
Yeah, well, it's natural that we are all different, and as a very complex creature, a person has very unique requirements for his or her soulmate, if we're talking about women as well. And sometimes guys have very, I wouldn't say peculiar, but very particular, it almost sounds like a demand, like a requirement when it comes to a woman. And it's, first of all, I don't want you to get me wrong. It's very, very important to know what you want. Because if you don't know where you want to end up, you will never get to this place, 100%. But as Veronika said when we were talking about the pictures, there is a place and there is a time to talk about things. Therefore, let's talk about a topic that brings a lot of attention in the communication between men and women, having children. Having children is a big topic. And sometimes we have guys who don't want to have children. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of the spectrum, there are guys who have the desire to have very big family. And it's very, very tricky because, first of all, I would say that if you don't want to have children or can't have children, this has to be mentioned in the first letter. It's very unromantic. It's extremely not romantic. and you should understand this, that but this is part of the package. This is who you are. If you are a man and you feel that, you are done making babies in your life, you should say this. Because, and I'm talking about our business. We are not in business of illusions and fake hopes and so on. The last thing you want to do is to lead somebody to the disappointment. And when you start talking to a lady, and she may have children or she may not, but the fact that she has a child or children doesn't mean that she doesn't want to have more children. So this is something you have to mention. I would say I know for sure that this is not a part of a perfect introduction letter, because it sounds not very romantic, but this is part of who you are. So you have to say this. Veronika, what do you think about it?
Yes, I agree. You should mention it briefly, because it is a deal breaker.
Yes.
If there is no point to spend more time with a woman if you no longer want to have kids and she really wants to have a child. This is a problem with a big age gap. Many men in their mid-50s don't want to have kids, and the girl who is 35, maybe she really want to have a child because she's a woman and that's her desire, and that is okay. So I agree that I would not go on tangent about it, but I would just mention it, because if it's a major deal breaker, so you may enjoy each other, but if you get emotionally involved and you get attached and you really love the person, this relationship is going to be very painful, because one of you is going to be unhappy and your needs will not be fulfilled.
Yes, and once again, I'm sorry to come back to this, but everything I say is based on the premise that the girl who you send the letter to has no other motivation to respond or not respond to your letter than her genuine interest. So in Mordinson Agency, this name behind me is my surname, and it's also a surname of my family. And we have been in this business for more than 20 years now. Actually, in November 2020, it will be 21st anniversary since the agency began working. Yeah, and I was just a kid when the agency it opened in 1999. It was my brother and my sisters who started the business. I was 15 years old at the time. I was just a kid. Yeah, and so it's our name. We never change the name. We cannot change the name, and so we care about our reputation, and we also understand that we care about it not just because we are. I don't like this talk. Every salesman will tell you, "Look, I'm so great. I'm so righteous. I will never do you wrong." I don't like
reputation. There is thing of reputation, and your name is dignity, because it's your actual last name. I understand what you say, because when people ask me to, talk about this or that, if I don't believe in it, I will not promote it, because your name is your everything.
Absolutely. We care about the success of our clients, not only because I love my clients, and I say this from my heart. I'm not just saying this, but also because I care about my family and our business, because it's a very, very logical connection between the successful experiences of our clients and our success as a business. That's why girls who come to our agency, when they become a member, if they become a member, and I say if, because not every girl who comes to our office becomes a member, because we also talk to girls. We want to understand what they're looking for. And if a girl becomes a member of the agency, she receives the letter. She likes you, she's going to respond. If she doesn't like you, she's not going to respond. She will actually respond. She will say no, and I will tell you that she's not interested. Which means that if you don't work, if you at least not make an effort to make your introduction letter nice, and do some work on the pictures, you may get all negative responses. This is the reality. And I get some heat from the guys who have some experience with online dating sites. They tell me, Michael, what are you talking about? I on this site, whatever site is, I get 15 responses per day. And I use exact same pictures in a tank top, in this wife beater. Yeah. And how can what should I say? You're being lied to. You're being lied to. And when you face the reality, you become offended on the reality, not other way around. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you should, this is probably the most difficult exercise you can perform in life, but you have to be self-critical. You have to look at yourself, think about yourself, and just try to understand who you really are and what you really want. So if you are, I don't know if you saw our website, we limit the age of the guys. And sometimes I also get not very happy emails from guys who say, you know, I'm 59, why can't I use your services? We want to keep it real for you. And I will say it as candidly as possible. We see in our experience that girls who are in our agency are not interested in guys who are over their mid-50s. I'm talking about girls who are in our agency. And that's it. We don't want you to think and create this illusion that yes, everything's going to be perfect. Just come to Kharkiv, come to Ukraine, everything will be perfect. We don't want that. We don't want to do this because we know that it might not end well. And actually, we can't even do it because no girl is going to be interested, most likely. So, guys, if we are talking about children, it's better to be honest. But you know, as Veronika said, keep it sweet and short.
Yes, this is a very good, excellent reality check. And this is also, you have your agency, you have your own demographics. So Michael has younger women, women for the most part who either never been married or maybe been married for a short time, maybe have a child. But mostly these are women, as far as I understood, in their 20s or 30s. And they actually, they want somebody who is more relevant to them. They are not looking for, some Rockefeller. They just want family man, provider man, a husband, and somebody who is more organic with them. And if you are, in an older age group, it doesn't mean that, your life is over now. No, you just have to find a niche, an agency, and I'm looking on connecting with an agency I was, recommended to, and also matchmaker service. You absolutely have a chance to, meet somebody, but I will not tell you on my channel that ladies who are 30, 40 years younger, that I cannot promote it because I know that they do not have genuine interest. That's pretty much logical. So I believe that every buyer, so every product has a buyer. So absolutely make your research, and if you are in higher age group, you're over the 55 or whatever, mid-50s, you can still make your research and find somebody who will personally work with you and who specializes in more mature people. So, and I really like that that in Mordinson agency, they know who their client are, because how can you see the fake website or fake agency? They take everybody. They do not they don't know who their demographic is. The person that pays, that's their demographic. So everybody has a chance to be happy. If you are in a good house, if you have something to offer, you will have to do some research, but you do have a chance. It's just the problem is the fake websites selling very intensely. They sell an illusion that everybody can have everybody, but you can, but as an illusion. as illusion, you can be with Cindy Crawford tomorrow. You can be with Angelina Jolie. As illusion, she can be your wife. You know, so illusion does not need a place in your house. Does not need a vehicle. Does not need place to sleep. It can come and go as soon as you put internet on, right? So we will record the video about that different hooks for you to, you know, look out, and also how to spot a genuine person. And I just think, you know, once again, it all comes to common sense.
Absolutely. Veronika, I really believe that if any person who feels happiness in his life, without wife, without anybody, just genuine happiness, has great potential to find a soulmate, a partner. People are attracted to happy people. You have to radiate this happiness. No woman wants to be with a man who says, I'm depressed, I'm super upset, I'm all the time, you know, I hate my job, I hate my life, I just need a wife, and then I will be happy. It's not true. Even you know it's not true. Nobody can make you happy. You can just, you can share this happiness and become happier, but you cannot turn from, you know, sad to happy just because a woman came into your life. That's not how it works. And also coming back to what Veronika said, guys, I'm also a guy, and I've been turned down in my life. You know, I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be turned down. It doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel very good, but it's an extremely, extremely valuable experience, because you understand that you need to either change the approach or change some details in your approach. So you have some work, you know, work to do. As Albert Einstein said, the true insanity is repeating the same experiment and expecting different results. So if you have done something a couple of times, it doesn't work, try to change the experiment.
Right, exactly. That's so true. Ukrainian women, you know, if you're not happy with your life, if you're miserable, Ukrainian women, Russian women, Japanese women, or a lady from Brazil will not fix it or change it. It will make it worse, because we probably will choose the wrong one. And we'll talk about that too in our future videos. A lot of people sometimes come to the conclusions that every person is faulty, or every person, you know, there's no good men left. Women sometimes feel, and, you know, men feel, wow, there's no good genuine women left. So we're going to talk about this. How do you, you know, how do you attract start attracting different people? Because if you are the common in all these scenarios, if you are the one and people are repeating themselves, they have different faces, but relationships are pretty much the same, have the same patterns, you know, these ladies may not be the problem. Exactly. So we will address that in our future discussions. We will see how much you respond, if you enjoyed this video, if you would like to share, comment, your thoughts, you know, share some insights, your experiences. So if we see that you enjoyed this video and we see a positive response, I'll be more than happy to record more, so you can learn. We can all see more perspective, more insights with the person that actually does this every single day, and learning from the experiences and not from illusions.
Exactly. Veronika, I understand that we are wrapping it up. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. For all those guys who watched until the end, I will share a little pearl of wisdom from the Jewish sages. You see, I'm wearing this funny hat. It means I'm a Jewish guy. So our sages, the Jewish sages, say that the man who is not married, who doesn't have a wife, should search for his wife as if he lost a treasure. It means you should not, for example, let's imagine a situation, you lost a wallet with some money and credit cards. You don't just go home and wait for somebody to bring this wallet to knock on your door and give it to you. You go around and search every place you went to, looking for this wallet, hoping with all your heart that you are going to locate this wallet. You do everything to find it. That's how you search a treasure. A true treasure is worth searching, not just sitting at home and hoping that somehow, nobody knows how, but somehow she's gonna just knock on your door. But do the search. That's what people said 2,500 years ago. But this is relevant, maybe even more relevant nowadays than ever.
I agree. And I think in nowadays, the delusional, websites use that little relaxed and lazy part that, all humans have. They use it to bring it to you.
Yeah.
So some of you call that a relationship. When you have been talking with somebody for 7 years online, you call it a relationship, but that's not what it really is. And they know the lazy part of human nature, and so they robbing you out of your masculine pursuits, out of your energy to go and explore. And Michael did not mean that in a needy way, in an insecure way. He meant get out there, just go check some places, have an adventure, just try things out. So yes.
As one of my former clients said, we made a video together. He said, guys, if you don't have game at home, you're not going to have game in Ukraine. And it's true. You have to have the game, guys. You have to do this. You can't just sit on the couch and expect, things to happen. You have to do this, you have to move. And the last little bit of, I wanted to say, exercise every day. Do something, do something physical every day. It will energize you. It will put the energy in you. Women feel it.
Yes, could not agree more. That is so true. Our picture is very two-dimensional, but even if you get with a lady on Skype or on the phone, if you speak like this, hi, how are you? Or you speak, hi, how are you doing? I've been in a forest today. It was so beautiful. When you bring your energy, women can also, they fall in love with the three-dimensional, with your energy. And that is so attractive. And you can have energy, high levels of energy at any age, actually, if you do
Absolutely.
it. And yes, you do have to have some game. I could not agree more. Unfortunately, game is not taught in school, but if you have been watching my channel for a while, you do know that I spill the tea and I share the secrets and the game for you, because I'm a woman and I know what works. What get us hooked. But by no means I teach you manipulation. I teach you game, understanding the dynamics and understanding how to present yourself in the best light so you can enjoy your masculine energy, your masculine self that is pretty much could be suppressed sometimes in different Western society situations, and you can let her enjoy your feminine. So that you do have to have game, like those little bricks. Without understanding the dynamics, if you don't have it, you won't be successful in any culture or country.
100%.
Oh. Thank you, Michael, so much for joining me today. It is so wonderful to have you on the channel, sharing like it is. Sharing everything with a positive attitude, but saying it like it is.
Veronika, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a genuine pleasure to talk to you. And I really hope it's not the last video we make together. But guys, it depends on you. Comment under the videos. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe. It's going to bring a lot of very important and useful insight in your life.
Yes, I'm very much into the mode of learning, for the guys to learn from your experience, for you to share more, and for us to have a discussion on more topics. And we will consider doing that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll wait to hear from you, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you so much, Michael.
Bye bye. Thank you, Veronika.